Hi everyone! So I actually purchased the Kobo Libra color a few weeks ago. It did come out at the end of April, and the very first day that it was available on the market, I rushed out to get it. I've gotten a lot of questions about comparisons between the Kobo and the Kindle. So I just wanted to do a quick video to kind of outline some of the main differences and why I actually prefer the Kobo over the Kindle. First, let's talk about one of the major features that drew me initially to the Kobo Libra color, which is obviously the color that comes with this e-reader. So you can see how nice this display is in comparison to the, traditional black and white Kindle. So I obviously preferred the color version because I get to see all the beautiful covers of the books. The second thing that really drew me to the Kobo color is these buttons here on the side. So these actually control the pages, so you can scroll up or down, you can switch the page from these buttons, and I find this is actually a lot more ergonomic than having to manually swipe to switch the page. I do know that the Kindle does have a version that does include these buttons on the side, but I just don't have that version of Kindle. So this was another reason why I wanted to upgrade, and I actually do find that I really enjoy these buttons on the side. I do find it a lot easier to navigate the device itself. Perhaps the biggest selling point of the Kobo for me was the fact that you can annotate directly on the page itself. So this is different from the Kindle because you can highlight on the Kindle, you can make notes on the Kindle, but you cannot write directly on the page. So the Kobo comes with the option of purchasing the stylus, which actually has an eraser on the end as well. So I found that was a great alternative to marking up my physical copies, just because I do like the look of annotations. I do want to annotate, but I've always been hesitant to mark up my precious physical collection. So I found this is actually a great alternative if you're someone like me and you want to annotate, but you don't want to mark up your physical copies. Now, to address the elephant in the room, because I've actually gotten a few questions about this already, which is the selection of books on the Kobo versus what's available on the Kindle. Now, I do think that Kindle may have a bit better selection of books available. So Kindle has Kindle Unlimited and Kobo has Kobo Plus. Essentially, they're quite similar, just with different book options available. So I haven't been using Kobo Plus for that long, again, only 2 weeks, so I don't know every single book that's available, but what I can say is that I haven't had any trouble finding the books that I specifically want to read, which typically is the most popular books. That being said, I do think that Kindle may have a slightly better selection on Kindle Unlimited than Kobo might have on Kobo Plus. But just buying the books specifically from the Kobo store, I think the selection is pretty similar and comparable. But again, Kindle's owned by Amazon, so I think it's to be expected that there may be a slightly better selection on the Kindle. Another really cool feature of the Kobo is the integration of statistics, specifically reading statistics. So after you finish a book, you can see how long you spent on the book, your average pages per minute, and some other analytical information. I found that very interesting. I just like to know that information. I think it's cool to know. I think the Kindle may have insights as well into your reading, but nothing as thorough and as easily accessible as the Kobos. So even on the Kobo, you can go to My Activity, under More, and it will show your most recent book and some stats about it, and then it will show the percentage that you've read of the books in your library. So that's a very interesting touch from Kobo that I think is superior over the Kindle. I just thought that was a very cool feature for the Kobo to incorporate into this. The Kobo reading stats also include all of the reading time that you've spent so far. So far I've spent 22.2 total hours of reading. So you can see that I've spent a lot of time using my new Kobo since I've, again, only had it for 2 weeks, and I plan on doing a lot more reading on this device. Some of you may also be wondering about the battery life because everyone knows that Kindles, the batteries last forever on those. I was thinking that maybe because this does incorporate color, maybe the battery would be draining quicker. But I've actually found that the battery life is quite comparable to the Kindle as well. I don't have any issues with the battery draining too quickly. I can get through 1 or 2 books without a single charge, of course, depending on the brightness, depending on how long the books are, of course, and a bunch of other factors. But I really don't have any issues with the battery life of the Kobo, and I'm quite pleased with it actually. One last thing to mention is the fact that Kobo actually has an integrated overdrive into the device itself. So if you use Libby, for example, then you can actually get all of your library books, you can see all of your holds and everything directly on the Kobo, which is very different than the Kindle because I could never use Libby, I could never use overdrive on the Kindle, and that's something that a little bit frustrated me. But now that the Kobo has overdrive worked right into the system, I think this is phenomenal. So if you like to borrow a lot of library books, then this might be a good option and a sign for you to upgrade. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope this answers all of your questions about the new Kobo. If you have any more, definitely feel free to reach out to me, send me a message, and I'll be able to answer your questions as soon as I can. Bye!